Hi everyone. I am here trying to take care of our tomato plants. They're not doing so well. A couple of them are kind of stunted. As you can see, these two right here are a lot smaller than the one I have planted over here. So these two were planted at the same time also. The same time. And some of these leaves are yellow and brown, especially on the bottom, which is usually fine if they're on the bottom. If they're on the top, then you have to worry a little more. But so I'm going to today put more compost and fertilizer down at the bottom. So maybe the nitrogen from the compost and the fertilizer will help these produce a little more, get a little bigger, be healthier overall. So I'll add some to the bottom, some compost right here by the root, where the roots start, and mix it in a little bit. You're supposed to do it within the top 3 inches of the soil to add it in there. So I'll do that today. And then I'll plant some flowers in a bit in the front of the school where there's a cedar garden bed now. And so yeah, I'll show you as I put them in here, put the compost and the fertilizer in here, what it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to take some of this compost and add it to the base. And this compost is a lot of organic matter. It's made of wood, leaves, and old food, manure, and cut grass. You don't want to get seeds from grass to go in here because then you'll start having grass grow in your garden. So you just want the cut grass, and sometimes we pick that up off of the ground to put it in our compost that we're making at the school. And then I'll put some fertilizer. Yeah, the fertilizer that I'm using has soybean meal in it and neem meal. And so you'll get more nitrogen in here for your plants. So now that our tomatoes have a little more compost and fertilizer, they should grow a little bit better. Didn't really have this issue last year, so I'm assuming that there was just not enough compost in there. We've been making compost at the school and it's turning out pretty good. I just added something new in here yesterday, but really, if you don't look at this and you just look in here, it's pretty much almost ready to use. It still needs to break down a little more. When you put old food in here or parts of plants, you want to put in at least half wood, half leaves, things of that sort, and then the other half can be like old food. So what you do is you spin it every day. So you want to put hay in here, wood, leaves. And you mix it every day. So if you ever come to the school and you want to mix it up, you can. And it's slow. You also have to water it. So I actually pour water in here too, and then mix it so that all of this breaks down. And when it breaks down enough, you can put it in the soil for your plants. It will help your plants grow. So every day I come here and spin it. I don't water it every day, but every other day at least. Sometimes I will water it every day, but it might be a little too much. I think sometimes it just washes away some of the nutrients if you do it too much. So you just want to keep it wet so it doesn't fully dry out. If you want to make compost at your house, you can do it. If you have one of these bins to spin it, that's pretty useful, but you can also move it around with like a pitchfork or a shovel if you have it piled in your backyard and you don't have one of these right here. So you can do that, but you also, when you throw your old food in there, you want to throw in leaves, grass, hay. Hay is a good additive, so it will break down better. And so if you put it in like a corner in your backyard, like where the fences meet, that would be good. Sometimes it can bring more bugs into the area, so you don't want it too close to your house. And now that I've kind of shown the compost, I wanted to have a little update on the garden. So we planted lettuce seeds. Some of them grew. We have a couple that sprouted here and here. And there was another one under here that's been eaten mostly. It's under this pumpkin plant, so it's really not getting enough sun. We've got a few pumpkin plants that have really started over here, and I'll have to pull out probably 2 of them so they have enough space to actually grow and get enough sunlight. And yeah, they really do need space because they spread out. So we have beets. I've already picked one of our beets, but we still have a couple that are ready to pick. And we'll have to plant something other than lettuce here. It's pretty much too late in spring, too close to summer for lettuce. It gets a little too hot for the lettuce to produce well. So these are doing all right, but I'm thinking that's the reason why a lot of the seeds were not sprouting, this late in May. So we also have chard, which is over here, and our chard it needs to all be pulled out, and then we can plant something new in here. And this soil seems a little dry. You want your soil to retain a lot of moisture, so this might need a little more compost. I think it had compost maybe two crops before this time, so it might need a little more. Now, I think partially what our issue was with the tomatoes is we were watering them too much, or I was watering them too much, and letting the water sit down in the roots too much. Apparently with these Arkansas Traveler tomatoes, it says that you need well-drained soil. So you always want to look at the instructions on what you're planting to see how much to water it, how much sun it needs, and also keep track of it by writing down what you learn about what you plant. So you can have a little planting journal and write down your progress or what days you plant seeds. If you plant on a certain day, you plant your tomatoes, and it says on here in 85 days your tomatoes will be ready to harvest, you want to harvest them on the right day. You don't want to wait too long, which is kind of the tendency I have when I grow too many things. I have something growing for a little too long that's already needs to be eaten. So hopefully these tomatoes do pretty well. We have some carrots that are sprouting over here. quite a few that look like they'll turn out all right. They turned out all right last year. They didn't get huge, but I think it was just the variety of carrot that we chose. And then over here we still have a lot of dill. I pulled out a lot of the cilantro, and that's already been eaten. We have a little bit left. And then we planted some garlic. If you have garlic cloves at home, you can take the little cloves and you can actually plant those. This is garlic, and this is garlic, and this, and this, and this. So we have about 5 garlic plants that are starting to grow. So we'll have garlic pretty soon. And yeah, that's the update on the garden. So I think we're going to plant some flowers in the front, and it's going to be milkweed. We're going to plant milkweed, and those help our monarch butterflies that travel from South America, and they come here and they have babies on these leaves on the milkweed plant, and then the babies, when they hatch, they eat the milkweed, and that gives them, that's their food, their sustenance. So I'll go ahead and plant some of those and show you what it's like.